is a Cosmic Octave original podcast.
Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
All right, episode 174. I had to think about it. I'm not sure. No, 75?
175.
Let me pull up the doc. It says
I'm Tyler.
74, according to this. I'm Jake. This is Off Panel Off Topic, episode number 170 something. And I'm pulling
We're in the
I'm pulling it up
170s.
because I want to be accurate. I want to give accurate information.
You know, look, when people come to us, they come to us for accurate sources of information, and they come to us and they say, I'm not going to read the Post or the Times or the Register or the Sun Times or the whatever.
Or the, whatever
What's the
newspapers
Denver
are
one?
called.
I can't remember. I lived there forever.
Yeah, like I know. I don't really care.
Post?
Right.
Is it the Denver Post?
It's 174.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
When I first moved to Denver back in 2002, there were two Denver newspapers. And
We're not doing the Denver newspaper lore.
into a
We're going.
one newspaper.
We're going to talk about a couple things. One, we're recording this on election night, so we're gonna distract ourselves with our own version of the election. You and I are gonna have two presidents that we want to talk about. Some of our favorite. Well,
fictional.
not just them, but our favorite fictional presidents throughout history.
In entertainment throughout history.
Is it not?
They weren't actually in history.
Some would
man.
say pop culture is crucial to history.
Some of those people
Should be what?
Shut the fuck
You were
up.
going to say something else. But anyway, it's...
No comment. I just said fuck. How long was that?
Oh, shit. 2 minutes.
Hey.
2:14. So, I
Hey.
mean...
Compare the fact that it's election night and I'm super anxious, that's
Before we
impressive.
get to that, we're going to talk about some fun things.
We're not going to
So-
talk about the election at all.
Yeah.
Because I'm not
My
looking at
dog
it.
is just passed out on the floor. Everybody's anxious.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to be talking about some of our favorite fictional presidents. Before we do all that, we're going to be talking about The Penguin, episode 7. This is episode 175, by the way. Correction.
175.
Yeah.
Oh, we sang like right away too, didn't we?
You know what? At this point, if you 175 episodes in, you should know what this show is. In my opinion.
No, it's just
so.
our,
I mean, if
I don't
you've got
give a
any issues
shit.
with that, it's
No, hey,
it's your fault.
you're taking it wrong. What I mean is, I don't give a shit what they think. What I'm saying is that it's our own personal goal to go as long as we can without swearing or
Yeah, well.
singing, and it's interesting to see how long.
Oh, damn it.
What?
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, that's right. Do you have me singing on there anywhere?
I'm never going to put you on the soundboard, ever.
Never gonna put you on the soundboard singing ever.
The Penguin, episode 7. Let's talk about it.
Fucking dick.
Yeah. So we get the origin. We finally get what Tyler wanted. If you go back a few episodes, Tyler was like, I really want to know
I did.
what happens to his brothers.
I did want to know, and after seeing what happened to them, I don't want to know anymore. It's too late. Some people are gonna.
By the way, spoilers.
yeah.
You know this by now. Fuck you.
Some people are gonna try and temper this with well, look at he's a kid, whatever. Okay, I'm pretty sure the other kid was the youngest and the other one was the oldest, and I heard 15 and 10. So I'm assuming that at this point that Oswald is 12. Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Probably the middle kid. He's not the youngest. That other kid was, right? He's
Yeah.
not the oldest. That other kid was, right? Got to be
Yeah.
the middle kid.
Well, yeah, he doesn't feel like he has his mother's
At
love.
12,
He's the middle kid.
At
yeah.
12, you should. I have nothing to say about he was a kid and he didn't know what he's doing. Bullshit. He fucking knew what he was doing. He wanted his mom all to himself, and so he didn't actively kill his brothers, but by doing nothing, he killed them effectively.
Yeah.
And that is fucked up. That's just fucking bizarre. It wasn't like they were super mean to her. I mean, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm still like
Just saying, you're getting yourself into a loop. I was trying to get you out of this.
I texted you right away, and I'm like, I have no sympathy for that fuck anymore. Fuck that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened to him in his face and all that shit. I don't care. Probably deserved it.
Well, as a person, it's bad and it's a shitty thing to do, and but narratively, it's perfect. In a sense of this whole season, there's been this weird relationship with his mom, and then in this episode is laid bare of he literally killed his own brothers just to get more time with her and be with her, which is weird, fucking weird, man. And
probably broke his mom in the process.
And,
stupid fuck.
But there was something in that episode. But narratively, why I think it's perfect is because it makes him a little bitch. Like, at the end of the day, Oz is a villain, and you should hate this guy, and it makes you hate him.
You said something to me off the air in the backyard. Tell me again.
Yeah, it's pro wrestling. It's the heel. You have to remember that this is not. He's not the protagonist of this story. If anything, Sophia is more of the protagonist. But then again, she's more of an anti-hero because she's shitty too. They're all shitty.
We'll get to that.
And look, that's what's so great about the show. It's so well written, and there's so many layers to this shit where I am analyzing these characters as real people, right? Mm-hmm. In a sense of they're all victims of their environment except Oz. Because Oz created all of this. Everything that happens to his brothers, to what happens to him in the Batman, to what happens into the show, everything is caused because of his decisions. Sophia got put in Arkham because of his decisions. His mom got stuck back in the slums because of his decisions.
His mom lost
his brothers
two
are
of
dead.
His sons.
2 sons because of his decisions. So yeah, I agree with you. It's such a great bit of writing because every bit of sympathy and worry and that I had for his mom completely flew out the window when we got to present time. Because at that point, I'm like, fuck you. I don't care what happens to your mom.
To be honest, though, I
she's innocent. His mom she's not innocent because she was doing some shady shit. But I'm just saying, like, in this scenario, she is still a victim of his own ego because of his own impulses because she lost 2 sons.
Of course. But here's my thing is that I love her. I really like what the actress is doing with the character. The scene between her and Sophia is just powerful as shit. Oof. You really see how much of a badass she is.
Get the fuck away.
She almost like puts Sophia off. Almost.
That's just something. Well, I want to touch that on that moment here in a second too. I want to tie it back to this when you're done. I don't want to interrupt you, but
I think I'm done.
Okay.
No, it's just a really good scene.
No, but I want to tie that. Sorry, I'm gonna pop the friggin' mics.
Well, yeah, what are you doing?
Stop it. I want to talk about that scene. With her and Sophia, of like how the layers of it go with this of after what happens in that the little prologue of this episode, and then later when his mom is talking to Sophia and she says he is better at this than you, he will. So I think at that point she knew or had an idea that he had done that to his brothers because she says he will hunt you down and kill you, like. He is better at this than you are.
I don't know that she knows. I don't.
But even so, she knew before this. Even before the stuff with Sal, she knew what he did. She knew he killed her brother. She knew that he had done all this.
Oh, I thought you were talking about his mom.
He even brings it up.
I thought you were talking about his mom.
What?
I don't think she knows that he killed his brothers.
Oh, maybe not. But
I would think not. Sorry, we're talking about Sophia.
Stop it. No, I'm not talking about Sophia. I'm talking about his mom. I'm saying that I have an impression that his mom, when she says it the way that she does, she could just be going off the information that she already has, but there's part of like what he's done already in this show. But I also feel like there's some sort of level of maybe she knew a little bit more about their brothers, and that's kind of implied, or maybe they're just trying to connect the dots, and like maybe she doesn't remember this.
To
or,
me, at first,
but I could be looking too much into it, and I probably am.
At first, the scene to me is his mom kind of trying to figure out how dangerous is this person before me, and honestly, there's a lot of these scenes in this show and other in other media where it happened with Eve a little bit. In the show, the last episode with his girlfriend Eve.
Yeah.
But there's moments where one character, you feel like that character is resigned to being killed by the other one, and you feel like that first character is doing everything in everything in their power to try and get the other character to kill them quicker.
Yeah.
Get them off base so they accidentally shoot him. Like the Penguin does with Alberto, right?
Yeah. Did you watch the behind the episode?
I did this time.
Thank you.
I did this time.
See, you're picking up on it now.
Sure, but what I'm saying...
The impulse, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it happens with Eve and Sophia. It happens with Penguin's mom and Sophia. And in both instances, Sophia shows, I think, remarkable restraint because I think she's on edge a little bit. I don't know.
Because she's a damaged, like, I hate to say this, but she's a woman that's been abused by men.
Have you ever
and Oz's mom and Eve have
both been abused by men.
Abused by him. They've all been abused by him.
Have you ever watched True Romance?
No, you keep bringing it up every fucking time.
There's a moment.
Yes, it's James Gandolfini in the fight.
No. There's a moment. Dennis Hopper plays Christian Slater's dad, and Christopher Walken plays this higher up mobster, and they're looking for Christian Slater because he stole a bunch of money from one of their drug dealers on accident. Whatever, doesn't matter. And they're trying to get information out of his dad, and his dad's just a postman who lives in a fucking mobile home, and they're hurting him bad. And after a while, after a couple of times of hurting him, he realizes he's like, no matter what I say, they're going to kill me. And I'll be damned if I'm going to, inside, he's like, I'll be damned if I'm going to give them anything. So I'm going to do what I can to piss them off to kill me.
Yeah.
And stop the pain because I'm dead anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that is those moments where both Penguin's mom and Eve are just like, fuck it. You're going to kill me anyway. I'm not giving you shit. I'm going to say whatever. You're not the hangman. Those were my friends. Da-da-da-da-da. He plays this game better than you. Da-da-da. You're stupid fucking dad.
Yeah.
Those are moments where they're trying to goad her, and it worked with Penguin. Alberto fucking kills, he kills Alberto. He fucking kills his brother because he thought they were personally, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, right?
He felt disrespected.
But stupid, right?
Yeah.
So to me, it shows the strength of character of Sophia, but also by the end of the episode, you realize something that she's not to be fucked with, and she's tired of playing the game like they want her to. She even says it. She's like, "I'm still playing this fucking game."
Yeah, because that's when she visits the girl.
And turns her into a
she
Sophia.
Sees her cut herself, and she's like, "Oh, don't abuse yourself for these people. They're horrible people. They deserve what they got."
But why is she going to see her? Not because out of love. She's going to see her to make sure she
shut her up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Possibly to kill her.
Yeah.
So Sophia's no hero either. She's been abused horrifically, but at this point, I think she has. You can make the argument that she was forced into many of the choices she's made to get where she's at now. You could make that argument. But I think up until the moment where... I think the moment where she's told that Gia has said some things, I think she has told herself, I can rise above all of that. I don't have to go that far. Right?
Yeah.
I don't have to be the person that everybody thinks I am. But at that moment when she goes to visit her niece, with the intentions that she has, however the meeting goes, she has set herself on that path. I think there was still a chance to turn back, and it doesn't help that the doctor who helped her get out of all the stuff with Arkham is also probably manipulating her now. So I don't blame Sophia, but I do have to admit that I think she's had a couple of opportunities now to just walk away and not continue to be part of this shitty life and these horrible people. But at this point, I don't have much for her either.
Yeah. Again, they're all shitty people.
Yeah.
And they all get what's coming to them or deserve what's coming to them.
Now, I still, like I said, I told you on the synopsis it actually says Oswald Cobb, so it's my theory about her taking over and whatnot is kind of shot down. So I don't know what's going to happen. I presume that Penguin will come out on top after all this because
you would think it's his show.
Also, he's from what we've been told, he's being set up as the villain for the next one, right?
I mean, I feel like that's what this whole thing.
Do we know what it's
about.
called? The Batman 2?
The Batman Part 2, as well as I know.
Real fucking original, Matt. And I gotta say it again. You made a lot of choices to look like Commissioner Gordon, you weirdo.
Hey. It's my.
Oh, you know what? I saw Mark Wahlberg on Fox News the other night, and he was pimping a fucking prayer app.
Yeah, he's been pimping that for a while.
He's a fucking piece of shit. Fuck Mark Wahlberg. Hey, let's talk about.
Mother crusher.
Yeah, let's talk about.
I want to talk about Penguin. You've been just fucking rambling, dude. Just
I was
going to
talk about Sal.
Yeah, I know. I was just kidding.
Fuck you.
Wow. No,
Where is Marky Mark on here? Let's hear him.
I don't have it up.
Fucking disappointed, dude. He's not on the new one?
Well, I mean, this is
Sloppy.
I'll just keep going. Yeah. Sal Maroney's death.
I had it up on there.
I think during the behind the scenes stuff, they were talking about how he was backlit during that first scene where he's kicking the shit out of.
Yeah. So Sal gets that whole thing with him. Yeah, he shows up, beats the shit out of Cobb.
Rightly so.
Oz. Yeah. And then Oz is trying to negotiate. And he's like, I don't think I can say anything. Blah blah blah. He's like, this is not a deal.
You're trying to make a deal? I'll be a gentleman and I'll keep the same deal
you did. And then he headbutts him.
When they get into the bottom and he's not in all his people.
Yeah.
What does he do to distract? We've talked about this now 2 times in this show with Sophia of the other character being like, I'm dead anyway, so I'm going to get my fucking last verbal licks in before they fucking shoot me.
Well, he knew that he could provoke Sal. He knew he could because he knew he's an emotional dude.
But it's the same gambit.
Yeah.
The gambit is I'm going to throw you off. But in Penguin's case, he still thinks he can get out of it. In Eve and Penguin's mom's case, they both thought they were dead. And
honestly, in Penguin's with the mom, she wants to die anyway, so she doesn't give a shit.
That's what the Penguin. I think what separates Oz from everybody else in the show is that he
survives,
believes that he's going to survive no matter what,
and he'll fight, claw, kill, do whatever he has to do to survive.
Because he has, and he will give
his whole life.
He will give up his soul.
Yeah,
his mother.
He killed his brothers.
It's so fucked up, dude. Like
out of his own jealousy and ego, and no, that whole fight was amazing. Like I love it so much because he finally provokes Sal. They have their big fight. There's this slug fest going on.
It's pretty sweet.
And we actually get to see Penguin as a fighter a little bit, and we get to see what he can do close up and just what he looks like.
He's vicious.
What he looks like when he's in wounded animal mode, when he's fighting for his life, and the fact that fucking Sal dies of a heart attack is incredible. And like the fact that he was pissed about it. We goes, no, I want you to know this, kind of like shake, like we'll not let him die. To let him know I beat you, Sal. I fucking beat you. Like just look. He's a shitty dude, horrible guy, but I gotta respect the hustle of the spite to be like, stay alive a little bit to let you know that I fucking killed
and then
you.
He shoots him
and
a
I
bunch
killed
of
your
times.
whole fucking family
Yeah.
because you tried to fuck with me. And then the best part about it is when he gets up and he's like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna show me how fucking tough you are, you fuck," and then he just shoots him a few more times. I love it.
I think
like again, he's such an evil shit.
It's far more pronounced in
and again,
it's far more pronounced when Oz does it to Sal because he's trying to get Sal off balance. He's trying to get Sal to lose his logical mind and go completely lizard brain so that he can set his plan in motion. And the way he does it is pretty fucking harsh. Like, she wearing a new kind of hairspray. She went up like a tinderbox.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, dude. Like, the smell, I wasn't prepared for that, you know? Like, oh my God.
Yeah. And the fact that he like signaled the workers before.
Yeah, well,
and
that's
set that whole thing up.
Yeah, that's
why he's gonna win, is because he's a survivor. And even in the ending, I think there's enough time to get out. Even then, because he knows the tunnel so well, he's able to survive even not being able
in the
to
place
run.
where he trapped his brothers.
Yeah. And then when he gets out and claws his way out, and he's just, the first thing you see the crooked detective, and he's just like, hey, and he's just like, she wants to see you, whack. And then, we're into the next episode. But I have no idea how this is going to end.
I don't either.
It's going to be insane because it's been a powder keg this whole season, and it's going to explode, and it's going to be like, what is this going to mean? And I know they've gone at length to say that Batman is not in this. I don't think Batman will show up.
I don't either.
But I think it's a possibility that Gordon shows up.
You shut your fucking mouth. Sorry.
What do you think?
I have no idea.
I feel like Gordon could be a possibility.
Possibly.
I don't think we're going to see like Riddler or anything like that. I think that we're going to, if anything, we would see Gordon. I don't expect Batman. But
I like that they didn't take any opportunity during all that Arkham stuff to shoehorn some Joker
or Riddler.
Fucking Riddler. Like, shut up.
And that's been the biggest compliment for the show.
I like
is
a
how
lot of
well
movies.
It fits.
I like a lot of movies that are just drawn out fucking scenes of actors going at actors, man. Just two kick-ass fucking top of their game actors just going at it, man. Just fucking, just drama, just thick, tense. I love it,
Uh-huh.
And some people have told me, they're like, yeah, those movies are okay. I'm like, fuck you. This show, the one thing that I love about this show is how many of those scenes there are with these top-notch, fucking top of their game, in their prime actors, just going at it, man. Just the whole, just tigers, just, fucking love it. Really excited about it.
Yeah. So anyway, fucker. Can't wait for the finale.
Oh, I do want to tell you guys, me neither. But the
We're
last
not
couple,
doing a What's in My
I know
Mouth.
we're not. But the last couple times that we did What's in My Mouth, I got a couple things in Mall of America, and they weren't so good. And I felt bad about that. So I did get a What's in My Mouth today. We're not doing it because Jake fucking hates it. We're looking at sponsorship opportunities here, man. Anyway. But we do have a bag of soft-baked chocolate chip cookies, which we've eaten before, so we don't need to rate them, because we're going to give them both a...
Crack cocaine.
Sure.
Oh, I mean,
I'll eat your ass.
Yeah, that sounds good. We're good.
you're so fucking funny, dude. Let's talk about Venom 3 again. Just because I want to laugh for a minute and be like, Sony's going to keep learning the wrong lessons. So Venom, The Last Dance.
Yeah, isn't Morbius supposed to come out for another one?
So
That'd be so funny if the internet could get Sony to re-release Morbius a fucking again. Would be...
Yeah, despite The Last Dance being maybe the worst reviewed and financially not as successful as the other two movies, still doing pretty well. Number one in the box office once again.
Wow.
Pulled in $68.4 million overseas last weekend, putting its total globally at $371 million.
I don't know what budget.
I can't remember the budget off the top of my dome, but regardless, more money than a Venom 3 should make. My point is this. Sony is going to keep learning the wrong lessons, and I'll admit I'm part of the problem. Because I did see this movie.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Fuck you, man.
Matter of fact, I've seen all three in theaters, so I'm part of the problem.
I'm part of the problem with the second
No.
one.
Time out. Here's the thing. Tom Hardy's probably not coming back. I'm just saying my Venom 4 pitch for Agent Venom could be what the series needs. We cut out the goofy shit, or at the very least tone down the goofy shit and bring in a different Flash Thompson, because you cannot use a Flash Thompson from the MCU. I know there's a whole rule about it. In the MCU, it can't be in a Sony movie. Fine, fucking pick somebody else, I guess. But you can make it work.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't give a crap if Flash Thompson is white or not. He's just got to be a big bully. And the actor who plays him in the MCU is not. He's a master manipulator, a little bit of a sociopath probably.
Yeah.
But he's not a big dude who's going to like punch. He's not going to
supposed to be a
intimidate.
physically imposing dude,
Yes.
yeah. And he's not. Which I do is just funny. He's just not what I.
If you're
I don't really like him
if
as
you're
Flash.
deconstructing Flash Thompson into a intimidator or
Like
a
an influencer
emotional-
bully kind of guy,
Right,
like a cyber bully.
then you did a great job, and the guy who plays him does a great job.
That's
Like,
not what I want for an Agent Venom.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's why.
No, but I want to talk about this in a bigger sense of like Sony
cookies
is
are good, man.
Sony is going to keep learning the wrong lessons, because they're going to look at consistently the only non-Spider-Man movies that they've put out, the only ones that have made money have been Venom. Morbius made a little bit, but it was still a flop. Madam Web was a gigantic flop. And I don't think Craven's going to make any fucking money. Nobody's going to, especially on Christmas, and the audacity that they think they could keep it on Christmas. And I'm like, it has to be tax purposes, because there's no way you could seriously think your movie is going to compete with Oscar contenders and like big budget movies of all the movies to see on Christmas. Nobody's going to be like, fuck it, we got to see Craven the Hunter.
Like Red One, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Sure, we can talk about that too. But I'm just saying, I will take responsibility for this. I am part of the problem, because I'm teaching them the wrong lessons. But even then, couldn't they see that pattern and see, oh, only Venom is making money? Why don't they see that and just be like, oh, we're only going to make that Venom movies or whatever? But it's just, and I'll say this again with The Last Dance, the problem with the Venom movies is you have one guy, Null, and you didn't use him. You just had him set up for the next thing.
Yeah,
because
you dick.
if you're not going to use Spider-Man, Null is the only other one. That's the problem, because then you just run into the same issues you always do with Venom. And I say this as someone who likes the character. You're just fighting a different colored symbiote every fucking time.
Yeah.
And that's why it's better to have Spider-Man. And
So, like, who was the villain in the first one again?
Riot, which was like a gray symbiote, and then it was Carnage in the second movie,
It was a red one.
and then
What
the
was the
third movie is a bug. That's the best part about it. I didn't think about it until somebody said it. They're not even fighting Null; they're just fighting Null's dog, essentially. What the fuck?
Noel's dog.
But they still make money, like the China box office is crazy on this movie
listen,
too.
I think what we're overlooking here is the fact that Tom Hardy is a very fucking bankable guy.
He's a great actor. Great actor.
That's, regardless of
commit.
that, he draws audiences. You know what I mean? I think there's a little bit of a mysteriousness about him as an actor, even though he's basically just a dude who acts and he commits. But there's all these stories about him and everything. There's, about how he's whatever.
Yeah.
And he seems like a really good guy. But
Funny dude.
I think there's respect among other actors for his commitment to the roles. And then I think there's just a lot of, he just brings in an audience, man.
By the third movie, the jokes have run thin, right? So, unless they do a full-on, okay, we're committed, Tom Hardy's done doing it, we're not doing any more of that, and we do an Agent Venom, or we completely scrap that and say Venom will come back, and he's not coming back until he can be in a Spider-Man movie, and we're going to do the proper thing, but we're just not going to do it with Eddie Brock, and maybe do like a Harry Osborn thing like they did in the video game that came out last year. Whatever it may be, it's just I'm still afraid that. Well, I mean, at one point, does Marvel step in and say, you're damaging our brand? At what point do they say...
Can they, though? They sold Spider-Man to Sony back in, like, the late 90s.
That's what I mean. I don't know what they can say
I don't
and
think
what
they
can do. I really don't.
I think
And
only until
as
the
long as
character-
Sony can still make money off of it. And this is a problem. They will. Because they can make money off its video games. They don't have to make money off the movies. They can still just make Spider-Man games and put them on the PlayStation and make a bunch of
Is
fucking
it
money.
is it 100 years? So we have to wait till 1960 whatever or 2060 for Spider-Man to be for Spider-Man to be
yeah,
right?
like 2066.
Okay, so I'm not holding out for that.
2062, I think. I think it was 62. No,
1960.
no, it'd be 66 because like X-Men was before Spider-Man, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure it was all 63.
X-Men was 63 for sure. Yeah,
Well, Fantastic Four was 61.
right.
I
Fantastic Four.
I
And
think
then
Spider-Man was 61 also.
I'm not. I don't really care. But the point.
I
The
know.
point is, yeah, it'd be in the.
I know you don't care
No, I mean it'd be in the 26.
about anything.
Hey, here's how you solve it. You just say this. It'll be in the 2060s. Jeez.
Yeah. Keep going.
Oh my God. Can we time out for a second? By the time we get to that in our lives, people will be referring the 60s as the 1960s. Because then the 60s will be in the 20. Oh. Time is strange, isn't it?
Time sucks a big fat.
No, I just wanted to have
nut.
that conversation because it kind of leads into the other one of like, I don't know about you, but I'm sitting there thinking of like
62 August.
because we've had you and I have had discussions of this past year or so, like why is the box office hurt so much? Well, there's multiple factors. There's the COVID stuff and blah blah blah. But we're past the COVID excuse. So what is the reason why movies are not doing as well at the box office? And you have movies like somehow Venom 3 makes some money, but like how does this keep happening? And I'll tell you this: when I was sitting there waiting to see Venom 3, The Last Dance, I was getting all these trailers, and all of these trailers, for a lot of them, I'm like,
So ridiculous. Like 20 minutes.
all of them, I'm just like, this looks like shit. This looks like shit.
There's been a couple that you and I have been to that where all the previews were like,
Gladiator
holy shit.
2 looks fucking cool, but outside of
But
Gladiator
most of them
2,
are like, this fucking sucks.
nothing
this
else.
fucking sucks. Yeah.
Then I saw a movie that's coming out in January. I'm like, yeah, I see that movie's fucking coming out in January. Because you dump all the shit in January.
What movie was that?
I don't know, man. It's so forgettable. I can't even remember
Who's
what
in
it was. I couldn't tell you. They all blend together when they're shit. Like, nothing blew me away. Nothing was like, whoa.
I can't count on you for anything, man.
Shut up. But, fuck you. No, I don't know why I'm so mean. No, it's true. And speaking of slop,
I started
like
it.
you and I were watching Monday Night Football the other day, or last night. When you hear this, it won't be last night. But when we were watching the game, there's a trailer that comes up for Red One. I had seen it before. You saw it.
We saw it in the theater, I
Yeah.
think, at some point.
Dwayne, I implore you to take a break, my man. Because your movies have gotten real bad. Well, let's be honest. He has really made a really solid movie. Like, his career has been
He wants to keep
consistently
making
bad
the
movies.
likable guy, the tentpole
Who
movies.
can't lose in a fight unless it's for comedy.
The polar bear CGI looks so fucking
We're talking about
bad.
Red One. Red One, by the way. I don't know if we
It
said
looks so bad. Like,
This is the movie that we talked about a few months ago about all the Rock showing up late, to like 3 or 4 hours late to set, causing all these delays and pushing the
This
movie
is-
back.
this
This
is-
is the movie they're putting it all behind right here.
This is one of those movies like from 1990s or 2000s where like where
Straight to
CGI
DVD.
No, where CGI is just so bad, but everybody wants to use it, and like they keep showing the shit in the previews because it's like, look at this thing that we have in the movie to get the kids, in here, whatever, and it looks so fucking terrible. And we've talked about this so many times. J.K. Simmons, I don't fucking care that you're ripped. I don't understand why you got so ripped, and it
At
was
first,
It was like a story during the whole DCU years about how ripped he had gotten to play Commissioner. I remember reading an interview and I'm like, why? You're literally wrapped up in clothes. What's up? Let me finish my rant.
What else? I mean,
well, no, it's just, I mean, like, okay, so the previews show him, like, pumping iron and shit. And JK, I love you as an actor. You're one of my favorite actors of all time. I love that you are healthy, and I love that you are like, man, look at how ripped I am at my age.
Look at J. Jonah Jameson's fucking biceps, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to snort into the mic.
No, you're fine. I'm just saying, like, it's just, it's questioning to me, and that's fine, but the movie just looks so rote and so cliched and so I've seen this a fucking 100 fucking. Stop giving me some sort of like, hey, you know what? Santa's been kidnapped, and here's a badass motherfucker to take down the guys who did it. Also, there's some dude along who got paid a shitload of money, Chris Evans. We fucking see you, dude. He's a random, like, computer guy, and he's the comedy relief. Like, I can't believe I'm looking at a polar bear. That's like the funniest part of the fucking whole movie in the preview. Thank you. We don't need to go see it. Because the funniest part of the whole fucking movie is when Chris Evans sees the bad CGI polar bear and goes, whoa! And that's it. That's the most entertainment you'll get from this piece of shit turd that they have foisted on the American... Okay,
Tyler, you forgot the part where they took the car and they made it a bigger car. And then...
Bad CGI again!
And then
bad
Chris
CGI
Evans
again.
is trying to get a Barbie that he can, make real. And then he's like, that's not how it works. And then he gets slapped by Krampus. I'm assuming that's Krampus who slaps him. I don't know.
So yeah, and now we're doing in a movie like 3 years too late. We have a slapping competition because like that was like big news like 3 years ago.
Man, people. Yeah, you're right. Well, a lot of people into that slapping.
Yeah, well, stop it. First of all,
stop it.
That's just the dumbest shit. You get concussions and shit and break people's jaws.
As a society, we should have been gone. We should have been past competitive slapping.
Right? The point is that it's like 3 years too late.
We need
for
to
like
get professional
craze.
dick twisting.
And the fact that we're doing it in a movie and like, you're the makeup on the Krampus thing looks bad. It's just bad all around. You can tell they didn't use any real sets. It's mostly CGI'd shit, and it's crap. It's crap. And Dwayne, I'm tired of it. Go back to the WWE.
I'd also like to point out, I think we said a lot, but that's why I think I probably liked Agatha all along as much as I did. It's because it was real. It felt like real sets and shit. Yes, there's some, not that great CGI, but the sets are great. And you kind of forgive it when then, you see something like that where it's just slop. And you see there's like a 200... Stop making $250 million fucking movies. Stop it. This is why you're tanking. They're like, what is happening? How could Hollywood be tanking? How could this be happening? Maybe because not every movie can make $1 billion. It's insane. Stop thinking that way.
And also, can we talk about the fact that you have such a shitty and fucked up accounting in Hollywood that shelving a $90 million fucking movie makes more sense financially than releasing it and maybe making some dollars at the box office?
Yeah, because of the IRS on you.
They did a whole movie. What is the producers about? Do you even know what the producers about that big Broadway hit?
Yeah. Springtime with Hitler or whatever. They're trying to make the worst musical ever.
They figure out that that to make money on Broadway, the easiest way is to raise a shitload of money and then fail.
Yeah, flop.
And then so they try and it ends up being like a big hit. That's the joke. It ends up being a big hit anyway. But they made a movie about this back in the 60s, and Hollywood's still fucking doing it 70 years later.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I love it when the writers and actors strike because it's like, good. Fucking take a piss out of these guys because they're
maybe
idiots.
they'll actually slow down and understand that, look, I get it. Human beings have this unique problem in the makeup of the world where we get bored. Well, I'm not saying dogs and cats don't get bored, but their boredom isn't like ours because They can just, run around for a little bit and they'll be fine and they'll be satiated. We have to,
They don't have a sense of self like we do,
Yes.
or whatever it's called, the ego.
So
or whatever.
we obviously get bored, so we constantly need some form of entertainment to take us out of the world we're in.
We need
Yeah.
meaning. We're fucking stupid.
And because of that,
What does it mean? Shut
because
up.
of that, studios think that we need to have movies and TV shows made on a fucking conveyor belt and a factory line, and that's when we get the slop that we get. And that's what's related to my long box is a show that kind of that deals with that, and a very funny show.
Can I
that deals
tell
with
you something that a really well done show? The Wire. Just shoot. Hang on. Just Shoot Me. News Radio. Night Court.
Just all the shows that you like.
I'm not saying. All I'm saying is that all 4 of those shows are objectively by critics and audiences alike are objectively well done shows. There's a reason why people still watch them, including myself. But Hollywood, the reason why I keep watching them is because they land every time. The jokes land because it's well written, it's well done, right? You give me this $250 million, wrapped turd, it's still a turd inside of a $250 million box. And no, I'm not going to go. I might go see a movie once a year, and if I'm going, I got to be honest, Hollywood, it's probably an MCU property. Sorry.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you that, independent filmmakers, but it's probably what I'm going to the theater for.
Tyler, let's get political.
Yeah.
And let's talk about our favorite fictional U.S. presidents.
Cool.
Wait, was he was Lloyd Bridges the president in Hot Shots Part 2?
Yeah.
Shit, he might be up there for me too.
That's why I said top 3 or 5 or whatever.
Well, you and I, before we started recording, I was like, okay, without thinking, tell me your favorite fictional president. And you said,
well, hang on. Let's both.
Don't cheat.
I'm not. I'm saying before we get into that, let's give Lloyd Bridges an honorary mention because not only Hot Shots Part 2, but Hot Shots, the first one where he's just the whatever.
Yeah, because he's not the president.
No, he's the president in the second one. But either way, both performances fucking top notch. Lloyd Bridges. So honestly, he is definitely one of our favorite fictional presidents. But yeah, my first one, I'll start, is Dave, starring Kevin Kline and Sigourney Weaver and some other people. Ving Rhames is in it with hair. He's got a rug. If you don't know the movie, Dave is a movie where the president of the United States is a Democrat, but he's a crooked Democrat. And he's got a guy on his staff that he's pretty much like a JFK Clinton type. His administration has gotten a lot done, but it's also beholden to a lot of special interests, corporate greed, things like that. And honestly, it seems like the real president just wants to fuck. He just wants to get laid a lot and just whatever. He doesn't give a shit about it. He doesn't touch his wife anymore, Sigourney Weaver anymore. He just, it's all political show, whatever. And he has a stroke, like a bad stroke, and they think he's going to die. And they go and they find this guy named Dave, and he looks a lot like the president. In fact, he makes a little bit of money on the side pretending to be the president at different functions, like car dealer openings, car dealership openings, things like that. Have you ever seen the movie?
I've never seen it.
It's a fucking great...
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Unfortunately, it sucks because you watch it and you start getting idealized about American politics and you realize, wow, that's not like that at all.
Oh, yeah, you get the fucking Sorkin shit where, like, look, I love Aaron Sorkin, but that dude has a very warped...
I think it's... Ivan Reitman, I think.
No, but I'm just saying that, like, I know what you mean, where it gets that level of, like, again, that Sorkin-ness of, like, romanticizing the idea that America is this thing that we think it is, Well, it's a conversation. We're talking.
I know.
Fucking rolling your eyes at me.
Anyway, so he becomes the president, and he's told basically just show up and shut up. And after a little while, he starts to realize
whole
that
movie.
he can help a little more, and the first lady recognizes that he's not her. So I'm gonna do one thing here real quick. There's a moment where Ellen Mitchell is her character's name. She walks into. They both have like separate residences, and she walks in and she goes, they're talking about stuff. He helped save like a project or something in the Senate or something, but whatever. And she's like, "Wow, you really helped out. It reminds me of when you were in the state legislature." And he's like, "Yeah, me too." And she says, "You weren't in the state legislature." And she stands up and she's like, "Hi, I'm Ellen Mitchell. Who are you?" And so Dave Kovic reveals that he basically, is a guy who...
You don't have to break down the whole movie.
I'm just saying. Tim, you wanted me to find some quotes, you fucking dick.
No,
Anyway.
I was just using it as an excuse to play clips for my president, but I'm not going to do that. But yeah. But anyway,
it's a heartwarming story, and Kevin Kline's great in it. Sigourney Weaver's great in it.
I'm just saying I want to
Ving
watch
Rhames is
it. I
great
don't
in
want you to spoil it.
I didn't, dick. And I'm done talking about it, I guess.
No, you keep talking. I'm just saying, don't give me the whole plot.
No, but you should go see it. It's an underrated movie. I kind of fell upon it when it came out. It did pretty well. I know critically, and it did okay commercially. It was more one of those movies that people are like, "Oh, you should go see it." But I don't think a lot of people even remember it now these days. I think if somebody's heard, I don't think anybody hears the name Dave and thinks, "Oh, that movie with Kevin Kline." I think they think, "Oh, my friend Dave," or "that guy down the street Dave."
Yeah.
I don't think they do. And so to me, if you're looking for a movie, especially with what might be happening, that makes you feel better about American politics, then go watch Dave, because it'll make you feel better. It's really heartwarming, and there's some plausibility to it. The bad guys get theirs in the end. Is the point.
The bad guys.
Who's your fucking favorite? Wow.
Mine is President Camacho.
Did you say Hector Dwayne Elizondo Mountain Dew Camacho, Herbert Camacho?
Yes, the one and only from the movie Idiocracy. So, I've always been a fan of
Your little peanut head.
I've always been a fan of Mike Judge. This is the most of like his live action stuff. I think this is the most one. I think this is the one that could most easily be animated, because it's so cartoony and insane, because it's the satire of where our society's headed, the dumbification and all that,
which is a lot closer than we all thought.
But Terry Crews as Camacho, though, is so fucking funny. And
his whole speech.
Oh my God, the speech. And like, and he's doing all the, and that's what I joke, with the election, I just group texted my friends and I made that joke. And I'm like, this is who I'm really
I know
voting
everyone's
for.
shit's emotional right now.
Yeah. And everybody in his cab, he's got his big fucking Flava Flav
and he's gonna
size,
do it all
like, medallions.
in 2 weeks.
What you're not putting water on the plants? But it's got what plants grow.
I never seen no water drink. I never seen no plants growing out of no toilet. Hey, that's pretty good. You sure you're not the smartest guy on the planet? Brought to you by Carl's Jr. Brought to you by Carl's Jr. Brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Well, that's what, that movie got tanked because of that.
What?
Because sponsors were pissed because of how he was using them in that movie. Again, adding to the joke of like, you guys don't really get what I'm going for.
I remember.
My God, when the sign said "butt fuckers," I was just.
I read an interview where he was talking about that. He was talking about how funny it was. Is it either him or Luke Wilson talking about how funny it was that they got so many sponsors, and they were so surprised. They were more surprised than anything that Starbucks was on board like almost immediately, and they even knew how they were going to be used. And they still were like, yeah, that sounds good to us. And they were like, that was the weirdest thing. Is Starbucks was just like, yeah.
The fact that when, like, again, his presidential attire, he's a pro wrestler. Like, that's his whole gimmick.
He's the only one to win an adult film award too, right?
Yeah. Again, he's got these big, like, Flava Flav clock-style fucking medallions as his presidential seal for him and everybody in his cabin. They're all wearing, like, fucking tracksuits and shit.
He's got 80s
and
metal hair.
And he's driving all these, like, Mad Max cars, and he's just flipping people off.
Drinking beers.
Yeah, it's just... Terry Crews just fucking got the character and fit in perfectly with this. And again,
Terry Crews is great.
He's a cartoon character in this, and it fits perfectly. Like, he's so fucking funny in this.
If you watch, if you like Terry Crews in this, I highly recommend, and it's not really like unknown, but Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's really, really funny in that too.
Oh yeah, I mean Terry Crews.
He's funny.
Is pretty funny for the most part. Okay. Excuse me. I wanted to pull up his wiki.
Okay.
President Camacho. Prior to his presidency term before the year 2505, he was a former professional wrestler having title of 5-time Ultimate SmackDown champion. That can be proved by his muscular shape, but he's also known to have worked as an adult superstar. He had a stepbrother who became the Secretary of Education during his term as President of the United States, but he's kind of stupid, though. His parents' birth date and residence is currently unknown. So there you go.
That's good.
There you go.
Herbert Camacho. What's his whole name?
Yeah, it is. It is President Dwayne Elizondo Mountain Dew Camacho.
Herbert. Isn't there Herbert?
There's
in there?
no Herbert.
Damn it.
Oh yes, you're right. Dwayne Elizondo Mountain Dew Herbert Camacho. There you go.
I loved how so many people in the future were like named after like products.
And the fucking gimmick of them being like
for
Monday Night
Micah,
Rehabilitation.
For Micah Davis,
Yeah.
as it prepares to lower its ass on his head. And tonight promises to be even more better.
Yeah.
That fucking hole.
No, it's such a great movie,
Some
dude.
of the little things like where the girl's doing the thing and the graphics up here, and she does this.
Yeah.
It's on her left, and she turns to the right, and as the screen gets,
Yeah, it's
fucking
just
classic.
or the ow my balls, their favorite TV show. Ow my balls.
And then they see him in person, they actually kick him in the balls.
I mean, of course, we'd have to talk. If we're talking about fictional presidents, we'd have to talk about Harrison Ford in Air Force One.
That's a great one.
Get off my plane.
That's a great one. And I remember when it came out, it was it was during the Clinton years, and so it was.
Hey Hillary, I'm gonna fight these terrorists.
I think it's kind of important to talk about what was going on in the world. On that note, I believe Idiocracy came out during the Bush years.
It was during the Bush administration.
And Air Force One, and look, let's be honest. At that time, there was a lot more faith in our presidential institutions.
Yeah,
there was a lot more faith in our federal institutions as a whole. Now there's hardly none. There's hardly any at all. So I think that colors a little bit of the political, discourse and satire that we get these days. But when you come down to it, Harrison Ford is great in that role. He's exactly the type of guy. There's a little bit of a. What are you doing?
I'm listening to you. I turn my phone off.
There's a little bit of I'm against like over patriotism.
Yeah, of course.
And what I mean by that is I'm
Nationalism.
against nationalism when it's taken to the extreme degree.
Right.
Like I do believe that kneeling during the national anthem is a perfect way to protest what this country has done to right.
Mm-hmm.
But as a high school football correspondent doing a game in small town Iowa, I'm going to take my fucking hat off and I'm going to fucking stand and face the flag when the fucking thing goes off, even though I'd like to kneel. Why? Because I don't want to get shot or beat up.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So I know how to read the room pretty well. But if it was up to me, I would never stand until certain things happened in this country differently. I wouldn't stand for the national anthem. That's not true. I would, but
you would for Harrison Ford president? Because I would.
The point is that there's a line there's a line that's crossed a lot in this country these days where it's fervor instead of faith.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of that coming through on this movie, especially like how cartoonishly villainous how cartoonishly villainous the bad guys are. Like Gary Oldman's fucking great, by the way. I think it's Jurgen Prochnow is the general that's trying to get released.
Yeah.
And he gets shot on the way out. If you haven't seen it by now, go fuck yourself. Well, spoilers.
Air Force One, you're gonna give spoilers for Air Force One.
The point is, great pick. I got
fuck you.
pretty much. I think I got another one.
I don't know if that's necessarily a pick. I was just saying, more of a conversation about some of our favorite fiction. I mean, Jack Nicholson's great, right?
In Mars
Mars
Attacks.
Attacks.
Yep. Your wife brought up a great one, Bill Pullman.
Yeah.
Independence Day. I think
That speech alone. I mean, he's got to put him up somewhere.
that's a movie where the filmmakers did a good job of not overdoing it on the patriotism. I know you're like, what about that speech? I'm like, that's more.
It's different when you're fighting gosh darn extraterrestrials, my man.
Yeah.
Because we all unite under planet Earth when we're fighting extraterrestrials.
I want to give a shout out to the president that what's his name? Kurt Russell plays in the movie with Steven Seagal. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yes, it's Gladiator.
No. Fucking dumb fucker. Stupid fucking douchebag.
Come on.
You're a shithead.
Why do you get so mad when I
Because you're a
when I
dad.
deadpan you like
You're a
that?
dack.
What,
Okay. I'm trying to look it up. Keep
Wow. You're the one.
going.
screaming.
Executive decision, right? Yes. Okay, now this is the movie where everybody, if you read like interviews about this movie, it's along the lines of Air Force One. I don't remember the plot too much, but I want to give a big shout out to this movie for one particular reason, because we think Steven Seagal is just a big turd.
Hey,
Do we have any more of him on
I'm
there?
just a chef.
Do we have any more of him on there?
No.
Damn it! But here's
It's
the best
real
part.
bad because you're going to snatch
The
a motherfucker's
movie-
birthday.
The movie, it was the first time that Steven Seagal had allowed himself to be second billing in a movie, like a Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
At that point, most of his movies were outside the Hollywood system, blah, blah, whatever. So for audiences, we're all like, oh, cool. Steven Seagal is going to be like in an actual movie that doesn't just suck, you know? Because some of us were still fans. We didn't know any better at the time. But Kurt Russell is obviously the star of this movie. You go and see the movie, and Steven Seagal's part is like 10 minutes into the movie, he gets killed.
Yeah, he gets his ass beat.
No, his plane blows up.
No, I know, but didn't he get his ass beat on set? Like he tried to talk shit or
I
something,
don't
and they got
remember
into a
that,
fight
but
or something?
we've talked about this before. The best part is that I read an interview. I can't remember who it was, but they were all laughing because he showed up. Steven Seagal showed up to set with like all of his entourage and all this other shit. I don't know if he just didn't know he was only in it for 10 or what, but I love that he showed up as like this big
movie star, to
and they
just
were
be
just
in it
like,
for 10
oh,
minutes.
fucking great, dude.
I died in the first 10 pages.
And here's the great part.
Yeah,
I
did you
remember,
not read the script?
I remember. I don't think I saw it in the theater, but I did see it on. I'm assuming I probably saw it on video. I didn't know anything about that, and I just remember being like, I wonder how long. I wonder, how it's gonna work with Kurt Russell. And it was kind of on my mind. And then he like just gets killed, and it's like, oh, cool. That's actually kind of better. That's when I started realizing Steven Seagal sucks.
Jamie Foxx was president.
Oh, which one?
White House down.
Yeah,
White House down.
Never saw it.
I think it was Morgan Freeman was Olympus Has Fallen.
Never saw that one.
I'm trying to think of some other ones, some other fictional presidents. But I think we named off probably the best ones. I mean, it's hard to say. Wait, wasn't Bruce Campbell Reagan? I guess no. We said
He was
He said
in,
we're gonna do fictional.
Right.
presidents,
Bruce
yeah.
Campbell did play Reagan in that season of Fargo. I believe it was season 2.
Yeah.
And he does a great job of it, but that is not a fictional president.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only ones I can think of right now are, I'll give a non-fictional shout out to my favorite one of those. I would have to say, I'd have to say Daniel Day-Lewis's Lincoln, and the reason
Never
why
saw it.
I did. The reason why is it's generally understood. Not a lot of. I don't think any recording was technology was available before he got killed.
Yeah.
But it was generally. I think there's like a film of him or something. Maybe like one of the earliest films. I don't know. Like it's very shitty. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's very generally known that yes, in his pictures and stuff, he looks tall and kind of imposing, but he had like, hey, his voice was kind of like this. And Day-Lewis does a good job. I've known about that for a long time. I'm kind of one of those nerds who knows stupid shit like that. And so when I saw that movie, I was hoping that they would do that solid, like that little bit extra. And hell, it's Daniel Day-Lewis. You know, he fucking lived as Lincoln during the fucking...
Oh, yeah. Sure. This is a real interesting way to say you're a jerk. A method.
I gotta say this, man. I would love to have worked on Last of the Mohicans with his kind of like his work ethic, because now you know what? Now he can make canoes and shit. He knows how to make a canoe, because fucking Hawkeye had to be able to make a canoe, and he told himself, "Well, I better be able to make one." Sure. Or maybe it was more like this.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like,
maybe
I'm not saying like doing stuff like that is not good.
Maybe
like,
it was more like this.
Character, but
I better know how to make a canoe. I do, because I'm Daniel Day. Wait, he's Irish, isn't he?
I don't know what the fuck he is.
I believe
he's
he's
honest.
Oh, I better be making a canoe as well. Give me another Guinness. All right. That's just racist.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah, why'd you say it?
Well, because I was thinking of those Guinness commercials.
Boo! Fuck you!
Right.
See, I did
Play it now? Or?
I was doing what you did.
Yeah, well, fuck you.
No, you don't have to play it. Why are you so mean?
It's a long box. I love you, buddy.
I'm sure you do.
So I want to go first. So
let me just kick back, relax, and not talk.
Yeah, shut your mouth. So last like a little bit ago, we were talking about like the movies that are coming out and the schlop that is being kind of thrown at us, and it makes me think of this show a lot. And the show is called The Franchise. It's an HBO show. It's a comedy, and it's the whole premise of the show is they're all working on set of this next big franchise superhero movie, and it's told for the perspective of the first AD, first assistant director. So the first assistant director is someone who just fucking cleans up all the messes and puts out all the fires, keeps the director happy, keeps the actors happy. And like he says in the show, it's like, keep the fucking train rolling. It doesn't matter what it looks like or if it's any good. You just keep the train rolling. And like some of the funny things about it, of like it just the constant gag is how insanely stressful this job is, and how fucking whiny and pampered directors and actors are. You know, that whole game.
Did you say whitey?
Whiny.
Oh.
And the funny thing is he's doing like a meditation thing, and it's like, breathe in and breathe out. He's doing like a breathing exercise, but instead of breathing, he's fucking hitting his nicotine vape, because that's how stressed he is at his job all the time. And yeah, and I think there's like 5 or 6 episodes. I've watched 4. They're half-hour episodes, and yeah, it's just really, it's really reminded me of like Veep, and it reminded me a lot. Funny enough, a lot of like the Sorkin, like Did you ever watch The Newsroom?
Sports Night?
The Newsroom.
Oh no.
But yeah, very much that like walking talk fast.
Sports Night was,
but
Aaron
yeah, very
Sorkin
much that
too.
Sorkin walking talking style, witty dialogue, very funny.
One of my favorite movies of all time is A Few Good Men, and that's written by. That's a play that was written by Aaron Sorkin.
But yeah, it has that kind of style, a little bit of it, and like I said, reminds me of Veep because it's a very funny satire. Like the Kevin Feige of this show is almost like the anti-Kevin Feige. He's like this misogynistic jerk, and there's I remember one time the director's like, I need my producer Justin here to he'll smooth it all over, and he's like, don't worry guys, I'll fix it. I'll tell him to go fuck himself and we'll be fine. And then like a next thing is like, it's all right, it's fine, he's here, it's gonna be fine. And the very next thing he's like, yeah, I got fired. I told him to go fuck himself and they fired me. And so then like his ex-girlfriend is running the shit now, and it's just like it's one of those things where like it's what I love in comedy, where it is a show that I'm just very much like, and again, Avenue 5, it very much reminded me of those style of comedies where it's like everything constantly keeps going to shit, and I'm just laughing because I'm laughing in a sense of how can this get worse? Because it's only funnier to me how worse this is going to get.
It's going along with like what you said about Avenue 5. One of the greatest parts, the greatest things about that show is it starts with a shitty problem with people who are incapable of solving it, but they somehow think they do, and in the process create new ones.
And that's literally what this show is. Like every episode is just funnier because it's like, of course.
And it's almost multiplied.
The first
everyone they solve creates two new ones.
Because the first episode is when the anti-Kevin Feige is coming, and they're telling the director, like, we need to make it brighter. He's got to see this shit. He's got to see it. We got to make it brighter. So they bring in this big-ass light and test it, and don't pay attention that their two actors are looking at it and fucking blind them. So like flash burn them. And it's so funny because I remember this, I'm watching this episode and I see that happen, and I'm like, that's Chekhov there. Because like, that's a big ass light. They had to be blinded. And then next couple things, like they have sunburns on their what? On their eyes? And then and they're like, oh fuck you, man. And the guy, I gotta look it up now because he's so funny. He's so funny in everything he does. The dude who did Made for Love.
I don't know.
Yeah, he does some other stuff
it's
too.
It's so weird, by the way, while you're looking that up, it's so weird when you see the the behind the scenes.
Billy Magnuson, yeah. He's in this as like the lead.
When you see the
he's hilarious.
When you see the behind the scenes of the Penguin and Kristen Milioti like speaks as she normally speaks.
Yeah, and you
and
notice
you're
the
so
accent.
Well, you're so used to her speaking as Sophia.
Yeah.
And she actually just talks normal.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like what?
Yeah, Billy Magnuson is really funny in the show. Robert Grant, right? He's the one who was he was the one who was in Loki. He dressed up as the original Loki.
Richard E. Grant.
Richard E. Grant, yeah. He's in this.
Oh.
And he is like
he's funny as fuck.
Like the old school, like, it's funny. I don't care if it's offensive. I'll say it. Like, fuck you. Like that, like free speech guy. And after each episode, there's like a mock interview, like behind the scenes interview, like press junket shit. And every time he never answers a question, and he just goes, "I'm just gonna start talking, and you cut around it." And he just fucking one of them. It's nobody else. It's just him, just rambling, and it's just Richard Grant just fucking riffing. And I'm like, it kind of always amazes me how well traditional, like dramatic, good actors can easily slide into just being fucking hilarious, because he is so good at being a bitchy British actor who's constant, because he knows how, like Billy Magnuson's character, he knows how sensitive he is. He's like, oh no, that's a lot of responsibility, number one. I don't know if you can handle that. He always keeps saying that, you're number one on the call sheet. You're da-da-da-da. And it's just funny. Like this last episode I was watching, he threw a big fit because he's like, you told me I was just nodding, and now you want me to be startled? Like, he has no lines. He's like, look, I'm already ready to rehearse. And he's just sitting there nodding. Like, and he's like, I can't be startled. And he just like stomps off. And he's just so good at being like this bitchy British actor.
I think there's something to be said
such a good
show. We've talked about this before.
Such a fun show.
Great parody and great satire and great comedy oftentimes comes from the straight guys. And what I mean by that is leaning into it.
Yeah.
You're not winking to the camera. You know what I mean?
The dude who plays Daniel, the main character, is so good because he's constantly he has to be the center of all these egotistical, whiny people. And he's got to clean up all the shit, and it's just it's great. I recommend it. Again, I think there's like 6 episodes out. I would watch it because I would love to see more of it. Hope it gets more like a season 2 or whatever.
Well, who knows with the streaming like accounting they got? I mean,
it is fucking
HBO
and Warner Brothers, so who the fuck knows what'll happen with that? But anyway, Tyler, you're long box.
Fucking dicks. Wow. Well, guys, recently, one of the things that's great about Lego and kind of shitty at the same time is that they come out with, these gigantic sets. They're bigger, more expensive. They do know that they have an adult market, and they know that they can get people to spend upwards of $400 or $500 for these sets. And some of them, I'm not going to lie, are sets that I'm like, wow, if I had the money, I totally would get them, But my limit is about $300, and honestly, I got to save money up for it. And about 2 months ago, I saw that they were going to have an X Mansion. And when I first saw it, I had gotten the Daily Bugle, which has like 20 minifigures, and it was $349, right?
I think it's fucking nuts.
I got that from my my taxes one year. I ordered that, and that was like half my taxes, my tax return. And 2 months ago, I'm like, okay, I don't got a lot of money, but I do have money that I'm saving up for this trip. I was frugal enough during the trip that I had some money left over. The point is, when I got back yesterday, it came out, and I was at the Lego store when they opened, so I could get it, and I got it, and it's $329. My issue is that it's a really cool set. It's like 3,000 pieces. It's the whole X Mansion, like one side of it. It's basically like 3 pieces, like center and then 2 wings. And one wing is basically like all danger room, and the other one is like, living quarters, and then the middle is Cerebro. It's really cool. My issue is this. I was looking the other day at, first things first. For that kind of money, you need to give me some more minifigures. And here's why. 5 of the 10, I have so many different types of them. Wolverine, Cyclops, Magneto, Rogue, and I think shit. I already said Wolverine.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Anyway,
where's my Wolverine then? Just kidding.
But there's
give me your duplicates.
There's 5 of them. I will. There's 5 of them in there that we've had multiple instances of in multiple sets, and then there's 5 that you don't have. There's Professor X. There's Jean Grey. I almost said Green Jay. There's Jean Grey, Bishop, Iceman, and I can't remember the other ones. Storm is one that we've had, and then the other one that we don't have that I've never had, or at least that I don't know that we have, is Gambit, which is really cool because he's got like the little playing cards and he's got a little plastic piece that comes with it, so it looks like he's throwing them. And that's cool. Gambit and Bishop, that's awesome, right? But give me a morph because it's based off the '90s cartoon.
97.
So, yeah. So give me a morph. Give me a Jubilee. Give me a Kitty Pryde with a Lockheed. Okay. And like some other one, Nightcrawler. There's on the back of the set, there's a sticker that shows Nightcrawler in the circus and Dazzler in concert. Give me those fucking 2, right? Yeah. I'm just saying, if you're gonna make me spend that much money, you got to give me more minifigures. And here's why I keep saying this, and here's why I keep harping on this, because they just released the news about a set for New World Order, Captain America,
Brave New World,
whatever.
It was New World Order.
Was it?
And then they changed it to Brave New World. Yeah.
Okay, so Brave New World. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because the set is $54.99. It is a big red Hulk, a Captain America, a winged one, which we already have. We already have, I believe, 2 of them. And then a Falcon, which is his sidekick. And then a human. I'm not sure who the character. I believe it's Sabra, the Israeli superhero.
Oh, yeah.
But she's not like a superhero. She's named like Beth Shabbat or whatever.
Yeah.
So, okay. So 4 minifigures for $54. Here's the problem. The entire set has 200 pieces. if you're gonna make me spend $50, you got to give me at least $500, and it better not be some shitty little jet that I could build on my own by going to the Lego store and do the pick a piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give me a break with these fucking prices. The last X-Men set that came out was a jet that was $85. $85. I believe it was 500 pieces, and you got 4 minifigures, all of which we had already had.
Yeah.
What are you doing? People can't afford these fucking sets. Lego, you need to do, if you've ever seen Mr. Mom, by the way, Terry Garr died this week. Rip Terry Garr.
Rip Quincy Jones.
Rip Quincy Jones, hell yes. One of the best parts of Austin Powers. Yeah, baby. Terry Garr, in that movie, she convinces a tuna company to do an ad campaign where they reduce the amount of their tuna for like the next 6 months to help out the working class families, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lego should do I'm not fucking kidding here. I'm not being facetious. Lego should do as much money as they bring in. Fuck their stockholders. They should do something where they go, hey, we're lowering all of our sets above $50, $10. All of them. Everyone that's if it's 49 or if it's $54.99 or up, it is going to be in effect taking $10
Well, I mean,
off.
like it could not hurt them at all. They've got
won't.
video. They've got
With the exclusive market that they have going on through Lego.com.
all the licenses they have,
Jesus.
and the fact that they have all those fucking video games and all that other shit. Like they could take that fucking hit.
You want to know why I think they can't or they wouldn't?
Why?
Is because I believe Disney is the one that's jacking these prices up by their demands. I believe that Disney's like, hey, if you want to make a thing about this, I don't know how it works.
Also, that's not
I don't
even-
know if they have to
also-
consult Kevin Feige before they make a set.
Also, I'm not even talking about the fucking animated shorts that they have and all these streaming services. Like Lego has so much money. It's like, come on.
Like they
I agree with you. It's bullshit, and especially what do you suppose? Like, what do you say to something like me and my wife, and we have we're a working family, and we do all right, but we're not like super wealthy or well off by any means. That's asking. Say my son, in a couple years gets into Legos. That's asking a lot, and especially like you're saying, if it's like 200 pieces, and he's going to be spending an afternoon with it, and it's done. Yeah, it's give him something that's going to take us. We got to put it up because it's going to take us a few sessions to build this together.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And you're just saying it as someone who enjoys it as an adult, and like they're not even factoring in the kids. And that's what that's just the toy market in general. It's insane.
I'm okay with that because the X Mansion is 18 plus. It says it on the box.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get that for my kid.
Right. And I'm totally fine with all that. I don't mind them having two different
A little bit more
markets.
price, yeah, for the adult stuff, a little bit more pricey.
Right.
But a little bit more of a premium. But yeah, I mean, if you're doing like smaller sets for kids, what the fuck are we doing? Like, you can't yes, you got to make money. I get that. But at the same time, it's like, think about the kids that don't have, these families that don't have a ton of money and who you're excluding.
Yeah.
And it's like you're taking the fun out of it. It's supposed to be fun. And again, they're a corporation and all this other shit. But it goes back to what I've been saying. Like, if there's a theme of this episode, it's when we take things that we love and we let corporations put them on a factory bus.
Okay, so they didn't make any sets for Loki or She-Hulk or WandaVision, right? But they acknowledged them with those 2 sets of Marvel minifigures. They had characters from both them. They had the zombie Captain America from the What If show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, right? So, okay, you're going to make me a set just to acknowledge that Brave New World is a thing.
Uh-huh.
And you made like 3 Wakanda Forever or 4 Wakanda Forever ones, which were great sets, but they were really fucking pricey, right?
Yeah.
And not much, there wasn't a whole lot of differentiation between the sets. Like, like none of, whatever. The point is that you could do a lot worse. I believe it's Disney that's driving the price up because the last.
I
the
can
last
see that.
Sarlacc pit Disney set that came out was really pricey, and it's not a big set.
Well, I mean, for Pete's sake, those fucking head ones are ridiculously over. You should not be paying $60 to put together a fucking Darth Vader helmet. Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? You can get a better Darth Vader helmet that's not even Lego for that price.
Now, I will say this. This set is going to take me about a week to put together.
That's just, especially that. That would be one a kid would like to build. A helmet? Why not make that a little bit cheaper?
I got one. It was one of the clone helmets.
They're so cool. I like them.
They look neat. Yeah. I got the Wolverine. The point of all this is to say that I still love Legos, but I think there's a lot that they could do for the consumer to really say, you know what? There's a reason why we say that everybody is welcome to play, and we mean it. And here's us putting our fucking money where our fucking mouth is, or rather where our pocketbooks are. Pocketbooks? Butts?
Oh, but no, Tyler, think of the CEO that's going to make like $2 million
Think
less.
of the poor CEO who can't get that new yacht.
Can't get that new $34 million bonus or some shit like that.
I don't know if you can tell, but we're socialist commies.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't believe billionaires should exist.
I think, honestly, like, I read somewhere this really fun idea that once you make $1 billion, like, you're not allowed to like make anymore. Like, that's all the money you can make. Every amount of anything over that you make, because you can still profit, has to go to the public good. Honestly, I think that's a great idea. Although billionaires would never let that happen.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound like a fun idea? Like, oh, cool.
Oh, yeah. Why don't I keep dreaming, buddy? With your lollipops and rainbows and sunshine.
I just hope I don't wake up to the worst news in the world tomorrow.
Here's what you're going to wake up to. A new episode of Off Battle Off Topic. Hey, everybody, we're coming to you live from the apocalypse.
Jack, coming to you live from the apocalypse.
Do you let's be real. I know it had to depend on what the apocalypse was. But do you think you could make it? Because I'll be honest.
Oh, if we ever had apocalypse, I hope I'm one of the ones that dies like first.
My hope is
initial,
if my family were to survive, I would
tragedy.
just hope that I would live long enough that my son could be able to handle himself in the wasteland, and then I'd go.
Wow.
I'm just saying. We're talking about real. If I didn't have a son, my wife and I both agree we would just kill ourselves. Even if we didn't get killed by it, we would just, why would you want to live in that world?
Truth right now.
You know what I mean?
Truth right now.
What?
If I'm not one of the first like people that die in the initial tragedy
blast or whatever,
whatever,
zombies, whatever,
then I'm ending up as somebody's slave. Because I don't know any survival shit. I really don't.
I would just kill myself. If I didn't die from the tragedy and I was like, just me, I'd kill myself.
Natural disaster. That's what I was trying to remember.
That's what you're trying to say?
I kept saying tragedy, and I'm like...
A natural tragedy?
Natural disaster, like a tsunami.
Like a tsunami.
Yeah.
Again.
Or the earth breaking in two because a certain shithead won. I gotta go. I gotta go.
Run away.
I gotta go.
They fucking...
Rabble!
Tear gas!
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.